From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Cascade Paint & Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Well, you know, for some of us, it turned out to be a gorgeous day out there. Some of the increasing clouds for many of the areas east of the North Coast, the valley, of course, not to mention some of the higher elevations. But the rain was mainly in the morning, and you can see where most of that rain was, especially up in Crescent City, over an inch of rainfall, as a matter of fact. You start heading southward, you don't see as much. In fact, Redway didn't report any rainfall. And then you can, of course, head up to the north and east. You don't see as much either, but this has been kind of the main area where we did see that rain. Nothing else to the east of that, but that will be changing by tomorrow, which we'll get into here in a second. Off and on chances for rain all this week, with more dry days than wet days, though. You know, you think about last week, and you were probably seeing all over social media how this week was going to be a really wet week. Well, of course, this is something that I was kind of moving in with a lot of caution, trying to let you know that there was still a lot of uncertainty. Now that we're kind of coming into this week, we're seeing a better idea of what we're going to be dealing with as far as rain is concerned. And again, yeah, not nearly as wet as a lot of the forecast model, long-range forecast models were kind of indicating at certain points last week. But I do expect temperatures to stay fairly mild, which means that the snow levels probably won't drop very low. Take a look at the area of low pressure right here. You see that counterclockwise spin, cold air associated with it, but it's pretty far off to our west. But overall, we're still seeing that flow, and especially this morning was over northwestern California, where we saw the bulk of the rain. Now, here's what typically happens when you see this trough of low pressure, the low pressure itself, dig to the south. What it does, as it moves to the south, it causes this to kind of tilt more in this direction, away from Northern California. And that's why we saw things begin to dry out through the afternoon today. However, this area of low pressure right here will eventually move closer to us by tomorrow. And that will put that flow right over most of Northern California when we have the best chance for rain this week. But this area of low pressure will then dive down to the south. So what we've got to look at is just how far to the south it goes and how far to the south and west it is. You see, if we were to take this area of low pressure and bump it up more this way, the flow of this rain would be looking at better chances of rain over Northern California. However, you bring it more down to the south-southwest, then of course the flow around that low is keeping the rain to our south. So it's beginning to look like that Wednesday, for the most part, is looking fairly dry. Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, looks like we may see a kind of a window of that flow over Northern California, and some of us could see some stray showers. Not a big deal, although it looks like as we do go into your Wednesday night, we could be looking at some possibly heavier rainfall in some areas here. As that pushes to the east, that will increase our chances for showers again Friday and Saturday, but it doesn't look to be all that impressive. After Saturday, it dries out for Sunday, Monday, and even Tuesday of next week, with a storm system approaching near the beginning to middle of next week. But of course, that's still a long ways out, and a lot can happen between now and then. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. Take you into tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. So overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning is when we start to see the rain begin to move in. And you can see it's going to be scattered showers, some periods of moderate to heavy rainfall for some of us. There is some snow we're seeing in the higher elevations, but again, mainly above 6,000 feet. Shouldn't create any major concerns as far as travel. Maybe some of the higher mountain passes, say Cedar Pass, for example, for down your summit, may see a little bit of snow as well. But there you can see, at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, tomorrow, we're seeing the bulk of the rain kind of starting to shift a little bit to the west, but still some decent amounts of rainfall for us. But look what's happening as we go into midnight. So tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning, we're beginning to see this retreat a little bit to the west, and things are going to dry out from east to west. In fact, by the time we get into Wednesday morning, there may be a few lingering showers here and there for parts of the north coast, but should be dry through the day on Wednesday. But that being said, again, with the flow around that area of low pressure to our south and west, we may see some clouds, number one, but number two, maybe some embedded light showers. I mean, the air at this point is quite saturated, and it's coming from the south. So even if we get these light little disturbances passing through, yeah, we're talking about a straight sprinkle or a light shower, but nothing to write home about on Wednesday. But look at Wednesday night. Remember I was talking about there's going to be a short window where it'll kind of shift a little bit to the north and east, and now we're seeing better chances of some decent rain coming in Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. But as I mentioned, by Thursday it looks dry, with yet another chance for showers Friday and Saturday. You get the idea. Off and on chances for rain, as I mentioned earlier in the headlines, but again, more dry days than those wet days. And there you can see your forecast rain totals, at least through Wednesday night. Not bad. I mean, we are approaching a half of an inch for some of us in the valley. And of course, off of the north and east, not as much, and most likely over an inch for parts, especially along the coast. Now, your wave heights, as we take you into your Tuesday, we're not going to see much improvement. In fact, if anything, those wave heights may increase a little bit here heading out to sea. Not as bad, though, for the immediate coast. East winds at 5 to 10 knots, waves from the northwest at 7 feet at 13 seconds, and there are no alerts for the coast, but again, heading out to sea, there is a small craft advisory. Temperatures tonight are dropping down to the low to mid 40s. Clouds will be on the increase. Fairly dry for the early evening hours, but overnight into early tomorrow morning, we'll start to see the chances for rain increase from south to north and northeast. Looking at your forecast for tomorrow, yeah, it's looking pretty wet out there, especially for the north coast. The valley seeing some wet weather. You'll notice I've got some sunshine in there off towards Modoc County and the eastern mountains. That's because we're probably not going to see as much rainfall there. There may even be some breaks in the clouds, but overall, Everyone has a chance for rain throughout the day on Tuesday, and some obviously a lot more than others. Looking at your 7-day outlook, all right, let's kind of walk you through it here. There's Tuesday. Everyone's seen the rain. Better chances for rain in Mount Shasta, less rain for Alturas and Susanville. Dry for Wednesday, Thursday. There's that chance for showers kicking in again for Friday and Saturday. Although for Alturas and Susanville, probably going to hold off until Saturday, and then dry for Sunday into Monday of next week. For the valley, here you've got the showers for everyone, cloudy skies, overcast skies, off and on rain throughout the day. There you can see your Wednesday. Now Wednesday, notice, I've got the word chance there indicating I think there's a better chance for showers as we go into Wednesday than say northward into Red Bluff and Redding. However, there still is that slight chance we could see a stray sprinkle on Wednesday. Thursday, keeping it fairly dry, and then there's that Friday, Saturday. So again, that system, the area of low pressure responsible for what we're seeing here, is finally going to push through, weaken as it does, but it is going to bring us a chance for showers as early as Friday, Saturday as well, and then drying out for Sunday and Monday. Looking at your 7-day outlook for the coast, of course, rain for everyone. There you have the drier conditions though for Wednesday, Thursday. More showers for Friday, Saturday, drying out for Sunday into early next week.